Hey, it's happening. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, I think we got it. Yeah, it's going live. Okay, sorry. हम कहाँ पे थे? I forgot. Yeah, I asked you one question. The time when you find out 4 passages, what is your strategy to go for the first one, or to how to handle those passages? How do you decide that which one to take first? And like always, I'm going to ask randomly. Khushi Kumari, if I may bother you, please. My friend Khushi, Khushi, can you hear me? No. Okay. So volunteers, how do you decide to take which passage first? So how do you prioritize it?
So first of all, size of para.
Okay, size of para.
And based
Does
on
it work
the
for you, Jatin?
yes, sir.
Okay.
And second one, the based on niche, which you like the most. Like if you are interested in technologies or in sociology or psychology related, then it suits all well.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, and also reading the first para. I mean, going through the first paras of.
Thank you,
our-
Shaurya. Yeah. No, I know that I was expecting these things, to be honest, and I'm glad that you guys are actually following it. Should I give you one more advice to check to decide? And it works wonder in my case.
And questions also.
Yes, thank you so much, Ashmita. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. You know what I do? When I get the mock, I know my strongest forte is inference-based questions or main idea kind of questions, right? So out of these 16, I got some statics for you. We have 7 questions overall RC, which are inference-based or thematic-based. We have 4 questions which are factual, a kind of factual questions. And we have 5 questions which are designed to understand the overall understanding, not theme, or which are primarily associated with the main idea kind questions. So imagine 7 plus 5, close to 13 questions from that zone, which is like little technical for majority of us, which are inference based, thematic based, and all. And 4 questions which are absolutely neutral in terms of their factual in nature. Now let me take this discussion forward. Shaurya, right? Shaurya, as Shaurya rightly mentioned that we just go to the size of the passage, we go to the first paragraph, we go and explore whether it interests us or not. Baba, all these things are relevant. Of course, these are very helpful things. And I suggest keep on doing it. I'm not saying you should not. You must keep on exploring these paths as well. But at the same point of time, what you should do, you should, along with all these things, you should quickly go and check yourself whether, what is the nature of these questions? Whether these questions are inference based or these questions are straightforward factual based. For example, I'm sorry, let me admit few more people here. Shivanya, I think you're getting some problem while joining. She got it, I think. Okay, we got her. Otherwise, she was just.
I got it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, now, so now what happened when I open first passage? I'll go in a reverse order. Sorry, let's go it in a reverse order. So when I jump onto the 4th paragraph passage, I find, buddy, 2 questions are direct inference based. 1 question is factual based, and 1 question is overall understanding, basically the objective and all. Good for me to do this micro level analysis, right? But if you ask me, the language of my 4th passage, which is not very difficult, as well. Size is okay, not a lengthy passage at all. Now I jump to passage number 3. You know what happened in passage 3? I got all 4 almost inference based questions. Right? Now what has happened? Come to the language of passage 3. It may vary, this observation, but I personally like the language is little relaxed, comparatively easier to do that, and a kind of trap for us, right? And a kind of trap, because when we go with the first paragraph, yeah, that's the one which I like. The moment when I roll the screen and I find out, oh, questions are dangerous, right? Now, second passage, very interesting. 3 questions. I have idea based, main idea based, objective based, and 1 straight factual question. But tone is again, the language is again little slightly towards the difficult one. Those who attempted the second passage, they must be agreeing with me, right? In terms of flow, in terms of reading, not that easy. Now move to the passage 1. What has happened? Not so difficult tone, not so easy as well, but questions are 1 thematic, 2 factual, 1 overall understanding, right? So as I rightly said, my whole objective is not to, we have Samir in the waiting room. Okay. As I rightly said, our whole objective is not to attempt all questions, but to explore the one, to begin with at least, which we are good at. The reasoning behind giving you all these facts is not that you should explore which one you should explore. Honestly, it will not work until you know what you're good at. So listen, our whole conversation is coming back to one point, right? Your strengths, what you should know what you're good at. We are here to help you. You yourself are smart enough to find this out. System has it, CL, all these backend processes there, which are very helpful, analysis and all that. So if I'm good at thematic questions, I'm assuring you, after seeing my questions of passage 3, I'm going to explore passage 3 first, irrespective what happens, because I know that I'm good at thematic questions. However, if I'm good at factual questions or a main idea kind of questions, I will be more than happy to venture out with my first passage, if time permits, which is again or rather, if I'm more if I have that kind of understanding which suits me with the main idea kind of questions, I will very confidently moving towards the second passage, because this language is okay. It can be doable, it's handleable. It got at least 3 questions. All these things, if time permits, I want to take that risk. I have attempted other things like my strength 1, strength 2, strength 3. So I moved from my priorities. I have moved to my primary, strength 2, middle primary, and towards the secondary. What's going to happen when time is left? Instead of going for random attempts, what I'm going to do? I'm going for a very calculative attempts now, which may be in passage 4, wherein 2 questions are from inference based, or 1 question is like a main idea and factual one. So that's it's a fair gamble, it's a fair risk which I will be taking here, right? This comes, all these things comes, it's like a part and parcel of your preparation. You got to just bundle it and find out, okay, this is what is going to help me. Now instead what we do, pardon me, I'm good at RC. We classify ourselves, you know what, in different categories. So our first category is like, I have seen, I'm taking one batch here, which is in my which is online batch, and you know, those kids are very smart for that matter. In general, what I say, we find out, okay, sir, I'm not good at RC or I'm good at RC. These are the 2 classifications we make broadly. Hey, buddy, hold on. Don't do this. Trust me, don't do this. Instead of classifying yes RC or no RC, it will not work. You should find out yes RC, within RC, what good, what average. You cannot live without RC. That's a fact. You have to live with that. So instead of classifying yourself as a sir, mera RC sahi nahi hota. Rather, I should come out as a sir, mera RC mein factual sahi nahi hota. Right? Right? So who is going to do that? You're going to do that. So the first thing you should do is remove that tag or that mental blockage that RC is difficult. I can't handle it. Hey, buddy, RC is difficult. Even for me, some passages are difficult. I have the experience of at least 23 or 24 years teaching CAT guys. And there are certain passages which I find difficult. After my first reading, of course, I have to go for the second reading. But I'm happy to accept it. You should be equally happy to accept it, that there could be some passages I'm not good at, I'm not confident at, but my flow, my attempts are going to be very calculative. Now, there could be some situations where when I go with the calculative things. For example, now I tell you how. Now what has happened? We discussed that I got the input, sir, we go with the length of the passage, accepted. Sir, we go with the temperament of passage, accepted. Sir, we go with the kinds of passages, kinds of questions, accepted. Now, what you have to do after this, post this, do you believe that you can actually go and solve and prioritize these things based on these parameters and solve the questions, right? I'll say no. Even after doing that detailed analysis, there's no assurance that you'll be getting your questions right. But there is a slight confidence that, or a possibility that you'll get majority of these questions right. So the whole discussion moves or revolves around one point: the calculative efforts or uncalculative, unscientific efforts, non-scientific efforts, sorry. So what I have to do, I have to go with the scientific efforts and calculative efforts. Now back to the passages. Okay, I got a question from Akshat Saxena. Akshat, just hold on. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring most of the questions. So camera was not working. Just 1 second, guys. I was selecting the genre which I'm comfortable. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jania. I got a question. Gaurav Chaurasia, thank you so much. I got the questions. Hey, Akshat, I need to answer a question now. So I got a question. In the interest of whole class, I'm reading it loud. It says, how do we know? Akshat, I hope you're fine when I read question openly.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect, thank you. So, Akshat got a question that how should we know that what are the inference based questions or main idea based questions? Okay, this basically is comes out in our RC class, and I distinctly remember. Do we have some? I think we have participants from the online batch here. Do we have? No, I don't think so. We have no. So, in the class, we got the sheets here, which basically gives you the classification, how to handle thematic based questions, main idea based questions. For example, Akshat, to answer a question, let me quickly jump onto the passage 3. Passage 3, question number 12. I'm reading it loud for you, Akshat. All of the following claims can be inferred from the passage except inference based. Which one of the following statement, if true, could be inferred as supporting the argument of the political right? Understanding based question, inference based question. Question 10. Which of the following statement best reflect the main argument of the second passage of the second paragraph of the passage? Again, understanding based, inference based question. 11th. Which one of the following statement would be an accurate inference from the example of James Scott's book, Weapons of the Week? Akshat, to answer a question, we should know what are the thematic questions or main idea based questions. So any questions which are talking about the theme, the inference, the main idea, the objective, or the outcome are thematic questions. They do not flow directly from the passage, like when was Mahatma Gandhi born, right? They are the thematic question, could be why was Mahatma Gandhi born, pardon me, right?
Got it.
So they are more reasoning based questions, and we have some sheets as well. I think we have 5 sheets perhaps, which primarily talks about how to handle the thematic based questions, the theme based questions. I hope I answered a question, Akshay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, I'm sorry, I forgot where we were discussing it. Okay. So now what has happened? I got the analysis. I have done, or I have tick box all these parameters. Okay, this I have to leave. This I have to leave. This I have to consider size of the passage, language of the passage, zone of the passage, questions in the passage, and I'm exploring it. Now, very important thing which we forget to do, guys, very crucial. While reading it, what we do, we read it. And I don't know why. I have talked to almost I've talked to scores of people, hundreds of people, honestly speaking. And they're like, sir, we read it. we got a broad understanding and we jumped to the question. I said, hold on. That's a sin you are committing. You read it and you jump to the questions. Avoid doing it. Please, if you want to take a note here, make a big banner, do that, put it in front of your study desk. Don't do this. Rather, and I always say this in my class, and it works wonder with like almost thousands of students. Rather, when you read, go with the comfort pace, because you have taken the calculative steps. You know what you're attempting. You know you're good at it. So what you have to do, when you read the first line, try to get the flavor of it. When you jump to the second line, try to understand why the second line is coming here. I repeat, why. The moment when you are able to establish the connection between the first line and the second line, you're confident, you understood it. Now jump to the third line. Your paragraph is complete. When you're going to the second paragraph, hey, listen, you got the insight of this paragraph. You know what it is all talking about. If you're moving ahead to the second paragraph without at least 80% of comprehension, sorry, something is technically wrong with your reading skills. You must not do this. In RC class, we discussed something which is called mind mapping exercise. We must follow it. Try to establish the connection between the words, between the sentences, among the paragraphs. The moment when you do that, after reading a passage, close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Please do that. It works wonder, this technique. Now you're taking mocks, it's fine. Even when you're attempting the practice sheets, do this. It's a soothing exercise. Close your eyes after reading it for 5 seconds and quickly mind map the whole passage. The structure, 4 paragraphs started from here. This is the thought which evolved. This is the thought with which we started. This is a thought which evolved, and this is where we ended. This is what perhaps author is trying to say. This whole exercise helps you to boost your comprehension level. Trust me, as an old man's suggestion, follow this once. It works technically. Initially, you will be like, no, it's just not working. And 10 seconds could not be enough for you. But my point is, you have some time. We are still in a practice zone. We have to just do that. The time when you do this, your conscious brain would actually pick up those things which are paramount. Could be certain references from the passage, could be certain quotations from the passage, could be certain arguments from the passage, could be certain reasonings from the passage, could be certain words from the passage, could be certain contradictory words from the passage. And the moment when these things are flashing in your mind, good, because there's a huge possibility you may have a question based on these flashes. And it actually helps. Now, why and how? Let me tell you. The moment when we do this mind mapping exercise, and it actually helps us to to technically go right with our inference-based questions, because we are developing a sort of skeleton in our memory. We are developing how we start, we are understanding how we started with a concept and how gradually we evolve, how gradually it evolved in the whole passage. It is evolved with the help of examples. It may evolve with the help of arguments from the author. It may evolve from certain critics or certain other stuff. It may be supported by some facts. It may not be supported. It was left open-ended. It was well concluded. It may not be well concluded. It may be discussed on a surface, but not in detail. Hey, all these things are going to come back in your brain, and this is what you have developed your overall understanding, which is going to help you with the inference-based questions. For example, the time when I get these kind of questions, such as, which of the following statement best describe the passage is about? Buddy, bingo answer you're going to get had you done the mind mapping after reading it. So are you going to promise to yourself and to me today that when, after doing all these taking all these elements, your passage size, your nature of questions, the background of the paragraph, all these things you do, and whatever passage you opt to attempt first thing, remember what you're going to do. Take 1 or 2 seconds after reading the first line. Pause. We don't do this, right, guys? You'll agree with me. We have a kind of hurry. I don't know what this hurry is all about, guys. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. And it's right, because when I started, I got the same kind of things, honestly. So this is what, this hurry is very, very, very human thing, because our subconscious mind says, hey, read fast. And the feeling of exploring the surprises, like what is in the passage, what happened, it pushes us. Don't go with that feeling of hurriness, like the feeling of swift response to the passage. Don't go for that swift response. Take your time, because what you're doing is the right thing. What you're doing is your strength. What you are doing is a very calculative step. So अगर इतना सारा exercise करने के बाद भी मैं कुछ जल्दी में काम कर रहा हूं, so that's basically sinful, isn't it? Right?
Yes, sir.
So what we should do, I repeat, first thing, when I read it, first line ke baad I have to take a pause of 1 to 2 seconds, quickly understand. The moment you go to the second line, quickly understand the connection, and from this point onward, just understand the flow of information. When you're done with the first paragraph, hold it, go to the second paragraph, hold it, understand why the information between first and how the information is flowing from the first passage to the paragraph to the second paragraph. Move to the next one. The moment when you learn this art of establishing the connection, you will develop your comfort zone with RC, irrespective of thematic based questions, irrespective of factual based questions or the main idea based questions. This was the first step. When you read the second, when you're done with the reading, second step is, can somebody tell me what is the second step for us? Anishka Mishra, can I bother you, please? Anishka is like, why me? Anishka, do you recall what's the second step for us? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, this is Anshika Mishra, I'm sorry. Anshika Mishra. Should we wait?
Yeah, sure.
Hey Anshika, how are you?
I'm fine.
Hey buddy, can you help me with the one thing? What is the second thing we have to do after reading the passage? Are you able to recall?
No, sure.
No problem. I give you the hint. You should be able to recall. Somebody from the class? Anybody? Guys, what is the second step for us?
So
Anybody?
we should understand the author, understand the structure of the para.
Anindya Das. Am I calling your name correctly, Anindya?
It's Anindya.
Anindya. What does it mean?
Like first we have to read the first line of the para.
Okay, no, I was just talking about the main name. Okay, right. No, I mean, that's absolutely right. You know, the second step is what? You missed the technical word, is a mind mapping thing. And mind mapping is close your eyes for good 10 seconds, understand the flow of information, recall all those things, which could be examples, which could be the arguments, which could be the reasoning by authors, which could be some references, all that. The moment it happens, your brain is ready to draw the flow of information. Hey, this is the main theme, this is the sub theme, and we are good to go. So, class, are you going to do that for me going forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you got to promise it. The moment when you do that, you'll feel confident. But here comes the disclaimer. It may not work for you initially, but it will work for all passages. It may not work for you initially, but it will work for all passages. So be kind to yourself, be patient. Okay, give yourself that benefit of doubt, right? It could, and I mean, I know that somebody's going to ask me, sir, it's going to take a lot of time. Hey, I know that. I know, but you have to practice. You'll substantially observe big improvement, right? I'm not saying that read slow, read fast. No, what I'm saying is add some extra seconds. I'm just asking for those extra seconds. That's fine. Now, after going to this one, now other things other than RC. So what has happened when I got that kind of structure ready, wherein I got that, okay, we have one passage in this whole mock which got 4 thematic questions. So and my track record shows that I'm good with the thematic kind questions. I'll of course explore that. So prioritize yourself, and I have seen this trend. I don't know if you will accept it or not. You know what happened? If we start doing RC, we're stuck with RC. Like a 1 or 2 paragraph we do, 1 or 2 passages we do, then we'll go and explore the other things, right? Hey, don't do this. Be flexible with yourself. So if you have to attempt 1 RC first, do that. Then if you want to switch it, and then come back to RC. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if 1 RC has got 4 thematic based questions or 4 factual questions, if you're good at factual, if you're good with the factual based questions, go explore that, come back, go to the parajumbles, fine, then go back to the other RC which got 3 factual questions or other 2 factual questions. So the second important element is, the third important element is go with your flexibility. Know what you should know that what you're good at. Now, few people, most of us believe that parajumbles we are good at, or sometimes we believe that parajumbles we're not good at. Listen, you have no choice. And I'm saying this with whole assertion, with complete confidence. You cannot excuse yourself from parajumbles and summary based questions. You have no choice. If you're not good at, if you do not have comfort with these kind of questions, develop it. We have some time. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And it's not a rocket science. Now, how to do parajumbles and basically the summary based questions. I'll come back to the summary based questions first. Now, again, the same thing happens. Summary based questions are basically the moment when you read the first line, give it a pause, 1 or 2 seconds, hold it, move to the second line, move to the third line, move to the fourth line, understand the flow. And in fact, this one, I don't recall the exact question, what happened in this mock. In a summary based question, we got one option which only focused on the summary of the first part of the paragraph. Second part is very conveniently ignored. But the moment when you read it in detail, like with the complete peace of mind, you know that, hey, there are certain elements which are missed, right? Go for that element, those elements. Always remember certain adverbs or certain words. Those could be may, can, shall, however, may, can, could, would, however, possibly, perhaps. Now these things, these words basically change the tone of all conclusion and outcome. And if those words are well supported in your paragraph, go for these words. Of course, if the summary is not conclusive, it's talking about the x-axis as well as the y-axis, then such words are fine. But if the summary is conclusive if the paragraph is conclusive, but the summary is not conclusive, hey, you should be smart enough to get that. These options in summary based are very important because you're eliminating those based on certain parameters. You may have exact words repeated in these options. You'll go and you'll understand, hey, buddy, this is the one which is the answer, but hold on. Those exact words are accompanied by certain other words as well, which could be unwanted adjectives, which could be unwanted adverbs, or which could be like a different moods, right? So be careful while reading those. Are you guys with me for summary-based questions? There's one summary-based question I'm not very confident. I have raised it to the CL head office. I don't know if I recall the question rightly. This is, I think, 23rd question. I'm not very confident. There is an errata, basically. I don't know if you got the right answer. So according to me, it should be first, but answer sheet says, or the system says it's second. But let's see. I've raised it to the head office. They're going to read it and come back. So we'll notify you when we receive any clarification from HO. Okay. So work on these things. Parajumbles again. I have a question for you. As you started doing mocks, guys, have you done with your funda books? Now let's divide the class. People in person, not to the group. Message me if you have finished all those who have finished more than 50% of the funda book, more than 70%. Sorry. So first classification is the first category is people who have finished more than 70% of the funda books, both RC and other one. Send me yes. Or if only RC, send me yes. I'm waiting in the chat box. Give me the direct message, not to the group. Have you understood my question, class? Tanuj, you got my question, buddy?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Message me if you have done with 70% of your funda books. You know what? I got no response. And you know what? I'm not surprised. Now, next question. Send me yes if you have done 50% of your funda books.
Sir, of the topics taught in the class now?
Nobody. RC funda book is with the self-paced basically, so you can take your funda book on your own. Because unfortunately, the class sheets may not be in sync with the RC topics of the books basically, but it's a whole practice exercise. Maths and all, you'll of course get that one, but otherwise in RC and all, you may not have. So it's like its own pace it goes. Okay, so 50%, in fact, none. 30% RC book. Thank you so much, Jatin. I really appreciate it. Okay, I got some responses. Thank you, Aman. Tanuj, thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. So we have few people, 30%. Now 25% funda book. Send me yes. Thank you, Ashmita. I got it. Now 10% of the funda book. Guys, message me if you're done with the 10% of funda books. Thank you. And less than 10%, I consider we haven't started yet. No problem. We have enough time to do that. Listen, Guys, this particular section is is extremely easy, or it's very different from VA and quant. Sorry, is from quant and all. Reason is we are not based on 2 + 2 4 kind of thing. We are not based on any formula. This section is based on your practice and strategy. Sorry, is somebody hello, Rakshita Singh?
I think I got unmuted by mistake.
No problem, no problem. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, so so you know what? Here we have to be a little careful. No guidance, no mentorship, no strategy, no tips, no last minute capsules will work for you unless you practice daily, at least one passage. Try to solve. Trust me, it works wonder. It increases your comfort level with the black and white. It makes you feel better with the different kinds of questions, and it will help you prioritize and strategize your work, especially your mocks. So from today's class, we have understood that what we have to do with the questions, how we have to filter the questions, how we have to fix a strategy, what goes first, what goes second, and most important, we have to practice. Without it, it will not work. No strategy, nothing is going to work in your favor if you don't practice. Listen, I'm just getting one person. I'm training him how to solve the questions. I'm training him, or I'm updating him on all those micro elements to do, and I'm sending him to the to the examination hall to attempt the BA section. He would not be able to do unless he develops the understanding with black and white, right? So yeah, that's what I have to say. In case you got any questions, please. Okay, I got a question here. Yeah, that's fine, Smita. That's absolutely fine. That's right. So, promise yourself that you're irrespective of funda book, your online test, whatever you're taking, take them regularly, and give yourself some time after reading it. Close your eyes, understand the skeleton and flow of information, and it will work wonder. In case you have any doubts, any questions, let me know. Check with your academic coordinator. He'll guide you to me. I'll be happy to sit with you in person and taking you through. But we want some substantial efforts and attempts from your side. I hope I make sense. Sure. Thank you so much. Let me know in case you have any questions. You can unmute yourself and we can talk. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. Good luck for the rest of the mocks. But before taking the mocks, whatever we have discussed, try to implement those elements in at least 15 to 20 passages, right? It will work in your favor. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy a Saturday evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.